There's never been a better time to have SiriusXM. With even more exclusive content, with over 150 channels in your vehicle, including the widest, deepest variety of music, ad-free. Root for your team. Get news. Listen to whatever makes you laugh. And hear all about your favorite stars. Your Platinum Plan offer includes more than ever before to enjoy online, on your phone, or at home. Create your own ad-free personalized stations powered by Pandora. Hear ad-free extra channels filled with music and enjoy favorite shows with SiriusXM Video. Thousands of hours of shows and performances on demand. What you love is on now.
Now more than ever, consumers are tied and glued to using this little device as pretty much their interface for everything. And that's not different when it comes to the remote start game. So today, we've got an interesting one for you. Automobility has come up with some pretty unique solutions when it comes to telematics and an offering for the remote start category. We're talking about Mystart, we're talking about Mycar, and a very unique platform for businesses out there called MyBranded App. We've got product expert Phil Camirand in the studio to tell us all about it. This is CMA Connected, presented by SiriusXM. Mystart, Mycar, and MyBranded App. And it starts now. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another CMA Connected presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. We're talking about remote starters and telematics. And the key word today will be telematics because, like I said before, this device here has pretty much got everybody joined at the hip. Now, we all love our little remotes, and they've come out with screens and all these interesting long-range technologies that have come into play of late. But we also know that there is a huge convenience to having one device to connect them all. And that is your phone. So Automobility got some pretty interesting solutions if you're not aware. We're going to break down those solutions today and so that we can better understand what is best suited for your customer and a couple of the new technologies that are out there that'll help improve your business from a branding and marketing perspective. Yes, how does branding and marketing connect to telematics? We're going to find out. Let's go to the studios in Montreal, Quebec, where our good friend Phil Camirand, product specialist for Automobility, is standing by. What's going on, Phil?
I'm doing good. How about you, Ben?
Man, this has been a fun one. Remote start and telematics is something I hold near and dear. I remember when I started my career as a tech, I can't tell you how many, basic car starters and even manual car starters. Yes, manual car starters back then were a big thing. And we all started with that. Now, over the years, obviously, like everything else, things have progressed, they have evolved, new challenges, bypass happened. All this to say, we have now come to an era where this device is now more than ever a significant piece of technology for everybody. So tell us why these offerings that we're talking about today are so relevant. They're kind of on fire. It's hot. It's growing in popularity. And break us up. What are the solutions that we'll be talking about today?
All right. As you said, it's nowadays you can leave your house without your wallet, but you will go back to your house if you forget your phone. So nowadays we're joined to our phone. We can't function without our phone. If you have kids, they cannot live without their phone. So remote starter and phone integration is a thing now. So you are able to control your remote starter with an application on your cell phone in order to do whatever the transmitter and a little bit more could do on the system.
So let me get this right. Are we talking about a whole new other hardware set that I need to buy specifically to be able to have this phone functionality, just to be clear?
It is an add-on, yes. So you still need to sell and install a remote starter, and then you need to sell an add-on that will add an extra hardware that you need to install. Very easy to install. We'll review that a little bit later on. And after that, you install an app on your phone, you're allowed to or able to control your system. And what's very unique with the approach that we are taking at Automobility is that the solutions that we will be talking about today are universal.
Oh, so they're branding not. Are you saying that it doesn't matter which starter I have or remote starter I have installed? This could be
Exactly.
an add-on feature?
Exactly. It works with all the big players out there. We'll review in more details later on. But usually, if you buy brand XYZ, and if you want to do that, they sell their own version of an app, and you need to use brand XYZ with the app for brand XYZ, right? So they need to be married together. So if in your store you sell more than one brand, then you need to carry more than one brand of telematics device. This is where it gets really interesting with the solution that we are offering at Automobility, is that it doesn't matter which brand you are using. Both products that we're going to be talking about today will work with all of the big players out there. So it doesn't matter if you got a Viper, Python, Clifford, the AutoStart, the Astro Start, Fortin, if you got iData Start, or anything that finished with a Start, or Vox or Code, it works.
Beautiful. Very interesting indeed. Break out for us, Phil, what we're going to be learning about and what's in what sequence.
All right. We will be starting with one product called Mystart Plus, and I'll explain the big benefits and the and everything that it does. And then we're going to move on to another product which does very, very similar, but works a little bit more in as far as range. It's called the Mycar system. And we're going to end up with some marketing tools that you mentioned with MYBRANDED app, which is something unique to both of the products that we are talking about today. And I don't believe anybody else within the industry offers a solution like that. I think it's going to be very interesting, especially to the retailers that are watching today that are not aware about this. It's hard these days to get your promotion out to your dealers and stuff like that. This should be very interesting.
So there you heard it, guys. Strap in. We're going to be covering the Mystart, the Mycar system, as well as the MYBRANDED app. And I'm going to strongly recommend you stick around for that last part, because that 5-10 minutes, whatever we're going to spend on that, may just get you more business in this season. And you're going to find out why. So without further ado, Mr. Camirand, we're going to give you the stage, and we'll be
back. All right. So there we go. So the first product we're going to be talking about is called Mystart Plus. So this is our entry-level offering as far as a remote starter add-on that will allow the user to control the installed system with a smartphone application on their smartphone, right? So what is Mystart? Well, Mystart, as I mentioned before, is a universal remote starter add-on. It could be installed in parallel with a remote, traditional remote that you sell with your remote starter, or it could be installed as a replacement of the remote. Nowadays, many people will use their remote starter, but they don't want to carry an extra key fob on their keychain because it makes it bigger, especially if you want to push to start car. Most of them will want to use an application on their phone. What makes Mystart special than everything else is, first, there's no monthly or yearly fee. It is 100% free, meaning that whenever you install it on your customer's vehicle, the customer will log into their app, make an account, and it works. No credit card needed, no registration, no nothing like that. It's easy, straightforward, no monthly, no yearly fee. Second thing that's very important, we mentioned it, it is universal. It doesn't matter which brand of remote starter you use, it will be compatible with all of the big players out there. So if you're, whatever the brand, we'll cover a little bit later on the compatibility, but it is 100% compatible with most of the big players out there. So it is something that's very interesting, especially if you carry more than one brand in your store, or if you do one or brand A for your walk-in customers and you do brand B for a dealership, maybe an expediter service that you do because you don't want them to shop the pricing. So you might want to use something else, but the app will always be the same. It works with everything. So when we mention smartphone application, as you can see on the left, it will give you basic control of your system. So with your smartphone, you'll be able to lock, arm, disarm, unlock. You'll be able to start, stop, obviously. If you got trunk, it'll pop your trunk or open and close your hatch. you will be able to trigger panic and also control up to 4 auxiliaries. So if the remote starter you want to control as auxiliary outputs and you have connected them to something, you will be able to control them with your smartphone application. Couple of key things about this app is, first of all, you are able to personalize it. I don't know if you guys can see on the behind me, you see the app, there's a picture of the vehicle. This is the dealer or the customer that will choose what it will represent. We all know we want to personalize our thing to what we own. And if I was to be driving a Kia Stinger, then this is the color I would want it, and this is what I would put on the background. So you can change the picture at will, and the customer can do that directly within the app. You can also control multiple vehicles within the same app. So let's say your customer has a family of 4, 2 teenagers, his car and his wife's car. You can install a Mystart Plus on all 4 vehicles, and you will be able to control all 4 vehicles with the same app. You simply have to go into what we call the My Garage, select the car that you want to control, and then you would send the command that you want to control that specific car. It is extremely, extremely easy. So before we go into how it works and stuff like that, I want to show you the product itself so you can understand what's involved into doing this. So right here is the Mystart Plus. This is the packaging, as you can see, super fancy, nice Ziploc bag, and this is the product right here. This is, probably guessed it, it's an antenna, meaning that this needs to be installed in the windshield of the vehicle. So you will need to install this in the windshield a couple inches below the roof liner with the flap, this guy here facing down, so it's not flipping you the bird, right? So it has to be facing down. It will come with cable to connect it. And if you take a look here, I don't want to open up the package, but if you take a look here, there's different types of connectors at the end that will allow you to connect this into your specific brand that you want to pair this with. So you'll be able to go directly into, let's say, a CompuStar, a Polar Start, or a Data Start, or whatever start you want. We have the plug for it. And if you guys pay attention here, we have a power, ground, ignition, and a trigger. So if you are doing a standalone ALCA with an RS firmware, you could connect this to your standalone ALCA and get power from there, and you'll be able to control it. One thing that we need to remember as a tech is that this yellow wire, which is the ignition input, absolutely requires to be connected. So a couple of things, like I said, windshield installed. So if you're doing a remote and a Mystart Plus, you're going to have 2 antennas in the windshield, and you need to connect your ignition input. So very important. Then you got your programming instructions. And as you can see, it is very, very easy. And depending on what you connect it to, we will show you which connector to go and where to connect it. So it is extremely, extremely easy to install. Very simple product. And let me show you what the app looks like. I don't know if you guys can see correctly. So this is Mycar. Let me just load Mystart because I have all the apps. So this is the application here. So with the application, I have already selected the vehicle that I wanted to display. If I wanted to change it, simply click here on the gear. You would click on the car here. You would make your selection. Let's say I wanted to use a different color. Let's say I want it to be black instead of white. I can select it and the car changes right away. So you are able to start, stop, lock, unlock. And if you press this little tab here, you will be able to pop the trunk here. And right here, you can enter information about my retailer, which is you, the person who sold it. We'll get into that a little bit more in a minute or two, but you guys can see the app looks very good. very clear, super easy. If you have more than one car, you can click here, and then you can click on My Garage, and you can select another car, but I only have one car on this system running right now. So super, super easy. Now, let's get back to the PowerPoint here to give you guys a little bit more details. So you guys saw the app. You understand that it's free, so the customer doesn't need to pay any monthly or yearly fee. You know that it's universal. It will work with all of the big players out there as far as remote starter. What's the catch? So far, it sounds too good to be true. Well, there is one thing that you guys need to be made aware of. The Mystart Plus is not a telematics device, meaning that it will not operate on a cellular network. What do I mean by that? It operates on its own private network. As a matter of fact, the system is RF based. So if we think about it, we know about what the remote starter is. We know what RF is. It's your remote. You send a command to the car gets the command, and if you have a two-way remote, you'll get command confirmation. Well, Mystart Plus is exactly that. It's two-way system, RF based. It operates on the 900 megahertz frequencies, and it's its own private network. This is how we can make it that it's free. Now, if I say it works on its own private network, here is the catch. You need to be within a coverage sector. So the Mystart Plus does not operate everywhere in Canada. We will cover that in a couple of slides. But before that, let me explain to you guys a little bit more on how the Mystart Plus system works. All right, if you are familiar with the Greater Montreal area, this is the map that you guys can see behind me. And we already mentioned that the Mystart Plus operates on its own proprietary network. So what does that mean? It means that throughout the city, there's a bunch of towers that are installed. And on every tower, we have a repeater or like a two-way remote, right? A system that's able to receive, send, and connect to the interweb. Some of these towers belong to us. Some of these towers are just add-on system that we put there. It doesn't really matter. All you guys need to know is that it operates on its own proprietary network based on two-way RF technology on towers installed in the coverage area. Let's say we already installed a Mystart onto our vehicle with our preferred remote starter system. Just because I did the install, I went with an iData Start. Love the system, works very, very good. So how does it work? How do we know where the car is? How can we control it? It is very, very simple. So I did my install. I got my little red car here with my iData Start and my Mystart Plus install. You guys remember the yellow wire I was talking about? This wire is for ignition. Every time you're going to turn the ignition on or ignition off, the Mystart system will wake up and broadcast information. So basically, it's trying to register to the nearest tower. So turn ignition on, your car is going to send a signal. That signal is going to be picked up by the closest tower in the network of the system where you are. Then that tower is going to say, hey, red car just registered at tower number 1, and it's going to send that information into our cloud server. The cloud server is going to get that, and it's going to store it in its memory, so we will know in the future in what area the vehicle was. So far, so good? All right, let's move on. So now that we know that it reports its position every time you go ignition off and ignition on, what happens when you drive? How will the system know where you are when you drive? Well, the system is designed that way that every time you go for a drive with your car, every 10 minutes, it's going to register. So it's going to broadcast a signal, which will register to the closest tower. So after 10 minutes of driving, the car sends a signal. This tower picked up the signal. It's going to send the information back to the cloud server. And whenever you continue, You drive, let's say, another 10 minutes, and you shut down. It's going to send the information at the end when you go ignition off or after 10 minutes, and then the cloud server will update its information. So at any moment, the cloud server knows that the car is close to whatever tower it last reported on. Make sense? And by the way, if you guys are from Montreal, that little trip that I did, there's no way that's 10 minutes. That's way more than that with all the construction. It's probably like an hour and a half to go from the island to the North Shore to the South Shore, especially now with all the construction. So this is just a representation. All right. So now we know how the system operates, how the car connects with the server. How does it work when the user tries to remote start his vehicle? We know it's an add-on that you add to your remote starter to control it. So the user, your customer, will take their phone, will take their app out, and will send the command. So push the button, send a command. With the magic of the interwebs, it's going to use your Wi-Fi or your data plan to contact our cloud server. The cloud server is going to look at the database because it knows that you are trying to control Little Red Car, this application. It will look in its database. Where was Little Red Car last reported? It was close to, let's say, tower number 1. So what the server will do is it will wake up tower number 1 and say, hey, please reach out to Little Red Car and send this command to the car. So, whoops, the tower is going to wake up. The tower is going to send the command to the car. Now, if Little Red Car receives that, it's going to activate whatever command you sent. It's going to send as a two-way in RF back to the tower that the command was successfully executed. The cloud server is going to get that information, and he's then going to send that information back to the app where you have it. So far, so good. So this is all two-way communication working with a bunch of towers within the system. Now, we all know, because we have lots of experience doing remote start, that it's not because a certain product advertised 1,000 feet of range that 1,000 feet will always be there and it will always be exact, right? We know that the environment, the interference, and more stuff between you and what you're trying to control will affect that distance, right? So this is still RF. So there is a chance where something changed and that it won't be strong enough to reach your car. But the system already took care of that. So let's say we look at this situation. User, perfect, wants to send a command to the car. So get my app, send the command. Cloud server gets the information, relays it to, according to its database, this was closest to tower number 1. Tower sends a signal. Nothing happens. A couple minutes later, Little Red Car is a bit sad because nobody wants to talk to him. The server goes, well, you know what? This is not normal. I should have heard from Little Red Car sooner than this. So it's going to wait a little bit. And then what the server will do is we'll call reinforcements. So it will call all of the available towers that are close to that sector where the last position was reported, where last Little Red Car registered. So it's going to call all the towers that are close by, and it's going to resend that command. So all the towers will send the command, and the server will wait for the car to confirm execution of that command. If, let's say, after a little while, still nothing happens, now Little Red Car is extremely sad and goes to sleep. The server will go, oh no, this is not normal. I better do something about it. You're trying to start your car. It's cold in the morning. So it's going to call the big cavalry. So basically what the server will do is it will wake up the entire network to send that same message. So every single tower within the network will be woken up. They will all broadcast the command. And once the command is broadcasted, if the car gets it, oh, as you can see, the car got it. And the car executed it. It's going to send confirmation to the closest tower. The closest tower will send that to the cloud server, and you will get that information directly on your app. Does that make sense? It sounds complicated. It's not very complicated. It is almost instant. Mystart Plus is extremely popular here to the point where most newer remote starter installation are done without RF, without transmitters, because people are relying a lot on the Mystart Plus. But keep in mind, it is a windshield mounted antenna. You need to connect your ignition, and it's RF based. It's not cellular based, it's RF based. So you need to be within the coverage area of that Mystart. So speaking of coverage area, what is that coverage area? As you guys can see here, all the areas in blue are covered. Now, it is a great system. It works amazing. There's no fees. It is super easy to install, but it is perfect for the customer that is within that covered area and doesn't plan on going outside that coverage area. So for me, as an example, I live on the North Shore of Montreal and I work on the island, and this is the most of my traveling, right? So I don't need more than that. This is perfect for me. If you have a customer that's a snowbird that during the winter likes to go to Florida, the Mystart Plus doesn't work in Florida, so he will not be able to control his vehicle when the car is outside of the covered area. Now, mind you, if you take a look at all the blue spots, the covered area is pretty big. So we cover pretty much Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec, Three Rivers, part of New Brunswick, and Timmins and stuff like that. So the coverage area is very, very good. But if you're from out west, Calgary, Alberta, wherever, I'm sorry, Mystart will not work in your part of the woods. So this is the drawback, if you can say. And one thing I need to mention as well, this system, the Mystart, if it's the first time you hear about it, this is not something that's new. This was released in 2016. And the network, the backend, the coverage will not be getting any bigger. There is no plan on expanding the coverage for the Mystart Plus. It is what it is now. We're just making it a little bit reliable and so on. So this pretty much covers everything that we had on the Mystart Plus. And usually at this point, somebody goes, yeah, Phil, this is nice, but I live in Calgary. What do I do? Or, yeah, but during the winter, I go to Florida. What do I do? Well, glad you asked, right? We do have another system called Mycar. Oh, what is Mycar, you say? Well, let's take a look. So Mycar is very similar to Mystart. It is a universal remote starter add-on that will allow you to control its features and options through your cell phone with an app. It is universal. I'll repeat it. It will work with most of the big players out there. So it doesn't matter the brand, as long as it's covered. If it's Viper, Python, Clifford, Polar Start, CompuStar, iData Start, Code Alarm, it all works. So it will work with most of the big players out there. Where it is a little bit different than the Mystart Plus is that Mycar is a traditional telematics device, meaning that it operates on the cellular network. So first benefit that you will get, because it's cellular based, the coverage area will be way bigger than the Mystart Plus. As a matter of fact, Mycar operates anywhere in North America. So Canada, US, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. So if you go and Florida during the winter months, good for you. You can still use Mycar. It will work very, very good. It is a 4G LTE system with 3G fallback. So pretty much anywhere in North America where we have cellular coverage, the Mycar will work. And the way that Mycar was designed, it is designed to automatically adapt to the different providers out there. The reason why I'm mentioning this, everybody has a cell phone, right? You probably noticed that in certain areas, maybe your provider doesn't work quite as well as your friend's phone, which is a different provider. Certain providers are stronger signal in certain area. Well, the beauty of Mycar is it automatically adapts and it will go to the strongest carrier within your area. So you will always get great cellular reception, which is something that's extremely, extremely good. Now that we mentioned that it's cellular based, so on top of start, stop, lock, unlock, arm, disarm, pop your trunk, control your 4 auxiliary output, see the status of your car. Did you lock your doors? Did you forget? What's the voltage value on your battery? Did you forget? Are you going to leave your car parked at the airport for a couple of days? You don't want the battery to drain. You want to see what the battery voltage is, maybe remote started from a distance. You can all do that with the app. And because it is cellular based, you can also get your GPS position on that, meaning that you will be able to see where your vehicle is. So if you go out for a night in town and you have a couple cocktails and you don't remember where you parked your car, not that you're going to drive it, but you still want to remember where your stuff is in the car, you can see where your car is with the app. You can locate it. So let's take a closer look. So what we see here is the app. It should look very, very familiar now that we just saw the Mystart. We're using the same back end or the same infrastructure to make the app. It is a totally separate app. So if you have a Mystart and a Mycar, you will need 2 different apps, but the look and the feel of the app is very similar. Same as the Mystart Plus, Mycar, you can customize it. You will be able to change the picture of the vehicle. As you guys can see here, I changed from the Stinger to a Mitsubishi RVR. So you will be able to change the car at will. And this your customer can do. You will also be able to start, stop, lock, unlock. And if you guys can see at the bottom, we have that little red icon here that shows you that the doors are locked. If you press unlock, you'll be able to see that your doors are unlocked. So instead of just talking about it, let me just try to give you a demonstration. Let me connect my phone with this system. Technology is awesome, but let me just show you if he wants to connect. All right. So let me there we go. So you guys can see my phone now. Hopefully nobody will send me some weird stuff while we're here. So I got the Mycar app connected to my bench unit. I have a unit on the bench, so if you hear some clicking in the background, it's the remote start that's connected to it that's going to be reacting. So we got the logo, we got the car. If I wanted to change the car, click on the gear. I can change the car. Now I got a 2023 Kia Sportage. Let's say I wanted to change that to 2021, whatever. I'll pick something random. Well, let's say Genesis because I think they look good. So G90, why not? And what's the trim? Well, let's go with the ultimate trim. And all right, color. So I'm going to swipe up until I find the color of the car I want to pretend that I drive. Let's say it's white because I like white cars. Click accept, click done, and there you go. I've updated the picture in my app. So if I wanted to lock my doors, tap on the lock button. You guys saw go blue, it sent the signal. The brain clicked, I'm not sure if you guys heard, and then the button went green as a command confirmation. This is pretty fast, by the way, guys. If I press unlock, command confirmation. If you guys pay attention between the lock and unlock, we see now that the status has been updated. The doors are unlocked. And if I tap on the lock again, my doors are now locked. My status will be changed to lock. Right near, above the stop button underneath the car, you guys see that green box. That's the battery. It's not very clear with this resolution, but we can see that I have 12.5 volts of battery and that I got a lot of signals on the little car here. If I click on the little arrow at the bottom to go up, we will bring the tray menu at the bottom, and on the left, I got the button to pop the trunk. And if you tap it, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to pop the trunk? If you are sure, you can click yes. Trunk is now open. And if you guys pay attention here, that little map icon, if I click on it, it's giving me an instant location on where I am. So you guys know where I am exactly right now. I'm at Automobility at the head office. So this is exactly where the car is. Now, a couple other things that you can do here. You can configure your auxiliary here. You have aux 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can change the name of the car. I call it bench test unit because that's my bench test unit. You can change certain device configuration. You can have a lower refresh rate if you don't want it to drain a lot of power on the vehicle. If you install it, let's say, onto a standalone application such as a trailer or something like that, you can activate it and deactivate it. And you can also activate and deactivate the alarm input. So if your system that you paired this with has an alarm, and if the alarm is triggered, your Mycar app will give you the feedback, just like any two-way remote would do. You can also do something very cool. I'll give you an example here. Let me click done. You guys see this? Are the 4 buttons there? This is our default layout. If you want to, you can customize this. Let's say you're going outside of a car to install this. Let's say you install this into a trailer, and obviously you can't start and stop a trailer. So you don't need for these buttons. So what you can do, click on the gear on the top right. You will go at the bottom. You'll click on configure layout, and then it's going to give you instructions, which we will not read because we like to live dangerously. We're going to click on the button we want to change. So let me start with the start button. I tapped on it. Right now it's showing that it's a start button. I can change it to a stop, lock, unlock, or I can choose empty. Let me just choose empty. Click confirm. Button is gone. Let's do the same thing with the stop button. Let's choose empty, hit confirm. I'm happy with this. I click on the arrow on the top left, scroll back and hit done. And now when we go back to our app, we only have lock arm and unlock disarm. So this is very handy if you want to reposition the button. If I wanted to, I could have put the lock button on the top instead of at the bottom. So you can customize this at will. This is extremely powerful. So going back to the menu, you can change whatever you want. You can also change the settings for the volume. Right now, you won't be able to hear the volume because it's broadcasting through the technology. That's why you won't be able to hear it. But you can play with the volume. There's a little volume. You can enable or disable vibration so the phone can vibrate. And you can also change the temperature for Celsius to Fahrenheit if you want. You can show the vehicle name or not. Right now, above the Mycar logo, you guys can see it says bench test unit. It's showing the name of the car. If I didn't want to show it, let's say I only have one car, I don't really need to be reminded that that's my car. I can remove it. It's pretty instant. Since I have a bunch of different cars on there, I'll leave it there. There's also a couple of things that you can do. Since you own this, you can invite other people to control your vehicle as well. So this is my car, my app, my phone. Let's say my son drives my car. I'm always scared when he does that, but let's say he drives my car. I can send him a request to join this, and he will get an email, add this to your Mycar app, and you now transferred or extended the control over the vehicle with the app to somebody else. So if there's 5 people driving the same car, then you'll be able to invite 5 people. Or if you have a customer that has a fleet of car with multiple drivers, you will be able to send the app to everybody in order to control everything. All right, so let me just minimize this. And let's go back with the PowerPoint. What else can this do? Well, I showed you that you can get your position. This is an older screenshot. Other cool things that this system can do, the Mycar, is with integration. Now, as you guys saw, I'm an Apple guy. I have an iPhone, and obviously I have an Apple Watch, right? Because if you have an iPhone, you need an Apple Watch. So everything that you can do with your phone, you can also do with the watch. So you'll be able to start, stop, lock, unlock, view status of your car, see the voltage from your battery. You will be able to control every car that you have in your garage with your watch, the same thing that you do with your phone. And you'll also be able to locate the vehicle instantly. And you will also get all the notification for the alarm if you turn it on, and also everything. Let me just show you. All right, let's just change here. You guys can see I have my watch. Let me try to raise it a little bit. It's going to be weird. You see me and my head and my hand. So I'm going to launch the Mycar. I added it to the complication of my watch, and it is connected live with my system, which is to the right of me. This is the brain here. So if I press lock, it is connected. If I press unlock, it is connected, and I'm getting emails at the same time. And let's say I wanted to see if my doors are locked. I can see it's green here saying that my doors are unlocked. I got 12.5 volts here. I'm using the my demo bench unit. If I click on it, I can change to go to my garage, select all my other cars. So I have a couple of cars, change my bench unit. And if I wanted to track it, I simply swipe and I'm able to track it. This is all live. So now that we've seen the app, now that we've seen how it operates, what does the brain look like? Well, I kind of skipped that part. So this is packaging. And this is what it looks like. When you get the packaging, you will get the unit. This is a Mycar unit. Just as a comparison, this is an iPhone 12. As you guys can see, it is fairly small. In the box itself, you will get everything that is required to install in this little package here. So you get the power cable that will allow you to connect your Mycar to your remote start assistant. And now we mentioned before that this is a universal remote starter add-on. So depending on which remote starter system you are using, we will give you these little pigtails here where you will connect your system to the appropriate connector here. If it looks confusing, don't worry. The install guide is very well made. You will be able to figure it out very easily. It will show you exactly what to connect where. If we paid attention on the brain itself, we have this little guy here, which is our sticker. These are the ESN, or the serial number of the device that we have right now. And inside the box, we have the instructions that goes one to you, the installer. You know, the thing that you never read, this is your installation instructions. And this is for the customer for whenever he needs to add it to his system. Right here, there's a QR code. You scan it to get the app. And right here, you will take that little sticker that we got here. You will stick it there so they know the serial number of the product they have and what they need to add to the system. So very easy, very straightforward, very simple. And me, as a tech, what I love about this is that it doesn't need to be anywhere specific. You guys remember the Mystart Plus? Mystart Plus needs to be installed in the windshield, a couple of inches below the roof liner, away from metal for optimal operation. This guy here just needs to be installed. What do I mean? Best example, if you've ever done a newer Audi product, let's say a Q5, If you do a Q5, the installation is done in the rear of the car on the driver's side trunk, right? So if you needed to add a Mystart Plus there, you need to add the Mystart on the side window, on the quarter window. With this guy here, you plug it in and you just push it somewhere where there's space, and it works. So when you're doing your install with this underneath the dash, you find a spot, you can two-way tape it, put Velcro, or jam it in between two things. Doesn't really matter. It will work. There is a mention here that says this side down. To be honest with you, I never really pay attention to this, but if I can, I'll put it down. If not, I'll just stick it wherever it fits. We're talking remote starter here. So very, very, very easy install, and there's no ignition wire to connect. What you guys see here, we have power ground in case you wanted to do a standalone installation, like we mentioned before, doing a trailer, and we have an input for alarm triggers if you wanted to connect it to the horn. So super easy install. So how does it differ? Why do I need a Mycar more than the Mystart Plus? Well, we talked about it, and let's take a closer look here. It is cellular based, so the coverage is better. It is still a universal system. You will get your vehicle position. It is compatible with your smartwatch, the Apple Watch. And on top of that, to make things simple for your customer, is we only sell this in a pre-activated package. We offer two systems, one with 1 year service and the second one with 3 years of service. So what does that mean? The one comment I always get from customers when they're doing any brand of telematics device is that there's always a part where they have to enter their credit card. They don't like it. Mystart Plus, there's none of that. Mycar, there's none of that either. Whenever you sell it to the customer, it is pre-activated depending on the product that you chose. So if you go with the VS4LU-1, 1 year, or the L3, which is 3 years, the joys of doing this live. So you're doing it 3 years. So whenever the customer gets his app, he installs it in his phone, creates a username password for his app to protect his system, and that's it. No credit card information, no nothing. Everything will work straight out of the box. Now, after the year or the 3 years, if he wants to renew, then there's a possibility to buy extra service. And if I'm not mistaken, a year is like $40, and 3 years is $100 US, if I'm not mistaken. This, you can all find the information directly onto the website. So what did you guys think about this? Is it something that you can use? Is it something that you can make available to your customer? I do believe so. If you live in the East, Mystart Plus is awesome. If you have a customer that stays within the coverage area, it is perfect. If you have a customer that moves a lot and drives around, goes to the US, Mexico, then Mycar is a better option for them. And as a technician, as an installer, I like to say that installers are, the word I'm looking for is not lazy, is efficient. We are very efficient, right? If we can do something with one less step, then we will do it that way, right? So personally, as a tech installer, I prefer the Mycar first because I don't need to connect an ignition wire. So if you're working on a newer car, like a push to start, they don't have ignition wires very easily findable. You can always find one, but it's a pain to find one. And I don't have to install it in the windshield. So this, just plug it in, stick it in somewhere, make sure it doesn't rattle, and call it a day. To me, all benefits of using the Mycar, but Mystart is a great system. It works awesome. I got one in one of my cars. Absolutely love it. It works very, very good. Mycar, more control, location, less limitation as far as coverage area, and it's extremely, extremely fast. And There's another added benefit for this. It's the compatibility with Google and Alexa. So most of you out there have some sort of a smart home integration at home. Everybody has Alexa or Google or whatever. Well, the Mycar is compatible with Alexa and Google. You can train both of them to use one of those specific commands to either lock, unlock, start, stop, and so on. So you're prepping your coffee in the morning, you got your hands full, you're prepping the lunch for your 12 kids and 16 grandkids. You got busy, I guess, for a couple of years, and you can just say, hey, Alexa, I apologize if anybody has Alexa at home, but Alexa, start my car, and it will start your vehicle, and so on and so on. These are all those commands available on the website. So take 5 minutes, go on the website, check them out. You need to train it or teach it or learn those to make it work. It's very easy, very straightforward. The list that you see there are for Alexa, and this is OK Google. You can say, OK Google, use Mycar to pop the trunk, and it will open the trunk. So pretty cool. We talked about compatibility. All that information can be found on our install guide, or it can be found at the link that you guys can see at the bottom of the screen. This bottom of the screen, mycarcontrols.com, is where you will see all that information. So as you guys can see here, this is a screenshot of the website, and this is what it is compatible as of now. These are all the big players out there. It is pretty much everybody. There are some other brands that are not there, but if you do remote startup, there's a good chance that you do one of these brands, and this will work. So if you're doing a polar start and you want something with more range, Mycar got you covered. If you're doing one of those iData start for BMW or Mercedes and you want to control with an app, Mycar got you covered. It is 100% compatible with all of these brands there. You don't need to remember any of this. Just remember mycarcontrols.com with an S. All right, that's pretty much what I had as far as product. And now we're going to the part where we're talking about marketing. Really, marketing. So let me just prep my computer so I can show you what I want to talk about. One thing that a lot of people are telling me is that this is not new. Everybody, every manufacturer out there, they have their own telematics system or their own app-based system, correct? And if you've used one, you've used them all because they're all pretty similar. They all somewhat looks the same. Have you ever thought about getting your own app? What do I mean by own app? Not just change the pictogram on the app. I'm talking about your branded app, like your store, your brand, your store logo, your store information in the app. A lot of people are probably going, yeah, Phil, you're crazy. This is expensive. I need to hire a programmer. I need to hire a guy. I need to hire somebody that's going to design this. Like, I can barely keep up with my website being maintained all the time. Like, yeah, no time for that. Who got time for that? Well, what if I told you that Automobility has the answer for that? We have a solution that will allow you to have a branded app to your store with your information, and all of that is free. I said it again, free. How do you do it? Well, you don't need to be a coder because there's no coding involved. You don't need to be a webmaster, so you don't need to call the person that manages your website that's never reachable and it's complicated. You can do it all on your own. All you need to do is contact your Automobility rep. He will explain the details on how to enroll with the My Branded App program, and he will send you an invite, and you'll be on your way in order to be able to do so. So, you know what? Then, in order to show everybody how easy this is, I think I'm going to make an app live on the spot. So let me just pop here.
Phil, what are you talking about?
What do you mean?
You're going to make an app for me?
Yeah, I will. You said you wanted something for you, right?
Okay. Okay. You
Let me
have
show
my
you.
attention.
So external, there we go. So I'm going to go on the interwebs, and you guys, I don't know if you guys can see clearly, but this is the My Branded App website. So in that website, there's a couple of things that you can control. On the top left, you can control different retailers. In my application, my store is called Philtastic Car Audio. Isn't that great? And I also have a expediter division where I cater to my local dealership. By the way, guys, I'm not competing with any of you. This is all fake, right? I don't have a shop. I don't have
I believe the
time to
word
do
is
this.
fictional.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So what I can do here with my retailer is I can create one Philtastic for my expediter service, one Philtastic for the shop. I associated my information, my phone number. Now you know my phone numbers, and what system I can make an app for. Now I have established that. So my shop, Philtastic Car Stereo. Let's make an app. Let's say you are my customer and I want you to use a Mycar or a Mystart Plus, but I want you to have an app that represents your store, right?
Okay.
So what I would do, I would go into the teams list here. I would click create a new team. So if we take a look here, you guys see what it looks like? This looks like the app, correct? On the top, you can give it a name. Let's call it CMA Demo App. The retailer is me, so Philtastic Car Stereo with the shop. I want to make an app for my car control, but if I wanted to, I can make an app for Mystart Plus or Smart Control, which is what we're going to talk in a couple of sessions.
Mhm.
Then it's asking me to choose my background. Anything that we're going to do is going to be reflected here right above my head. So this is the standard background. Let's say I wanted to change the background to something not this. Let's try this.
Yeah, I like that one.
It looks good.
Mhm.
Let's try something else. Let's try
Oh,
this guy.
I like that too.
It's very busy. But you know what? Before we change the background, how about we put a logo? So if I
Oh,
scroll to the
you
bottom,
can customize a logo?
of course, come on.
Ooh.
Okay. This is easy. So you can't really see here because the logo is white and it's a white background, but I have the Mystart logo. If I click here, choose file, it's going to come up with all my files. I have a folder. Don't ask me how, but I already have your.
Choose the white one, Phil. Choose the white one. The third one over. Yes.
All right. Let's go with the white one. I'm going to click open. It's going to pop it here. We can't see it because it's white on white. But if I roll up.
Oh, look at that.
I think it's too busy. Like you can't really see.
Dark.
Like I don't like it. So let's go with Cold City.
No,
Nah.
let's do Earth, the one next to it.
This one?
Yeah. There you go. Nice and
We
clear.
can do this, or we can do this. So you get to play whatever you want. You like Earth? All right. So we like this. This is what we want, right? So all I have to do now is I'm done. Like my app is done. So I click accept, create. Now here, we need to choose which app is my default app for my store. Right now, Phil Car Stereo, the shop, has this app. It's not the CMA demo app. So what I'll do is I'll click enable. And now the default app for the Mycar control will be this. So let me just show you. All right. This is getting complicated, but
but I'm starting to understand where this is going, Phil. I think I understand where this is going.
So you guys see my phone here?
Yes, sir.
Let me just open it up. So this is my car, right? You guys have seen this before. You
Mhm.
guys remember when we talked at the bottom here where it has a button that's called My Retailer? If I click on that, I need to enter the phone number for your shop. Phone number for my shop is this guy here. I click confirm. I confirm.
Oh my
And
God, look at that.
look at that. We have your logo that's pushed. We have the address, the phone number, your hours of operation, your
Oh my, social
website,
media.
Facebook page.
Oh.
Everything is linked there because we linked it before. And this is the app.
And that would have been
So,
set up in the profile setup, correct?
yep.
Mhm.
Whenever you set up the app,
Mhm.
this guy here, My Retailer, you would do that for the customer and just go back there. Let's say, you know what? I like this, but how about we change it? Okay, let's change it. Let's go PC again. We're going to change it. We're going to go back to Mycar control. This is the CMA demo app. Let's say I wanted to change the background to this here. I think that looks good. But let's say I wanted to change the logo with the black logo. Why? I don't know, but let's just do it. So let's go take a look. It's good, but it's too dark. Let's pick winter. Winter is coming, right? So, yeah, this looks good. I'm going to choose I accept, update,
So that means
and
you could change images seasonally if you wanted.
oh,
Are the
yes.
backgrounds up? Can I upload custom backgrounds, or is it set to those fields?
No, the background are exactly what you chose.
Okay. What do you see?
So, you see the app now? It hasn't updated. So
Mhm.
the only thing you need to do to update it is either close and start the app, or if you go into your garage, reselect your car,
Boom.
the app is changed. Does that make sense?
Lots of sense.
All right, so let's go back here. I'll give you guys a little hidden trick. If you wanted to change the app, you see that My Retailer logo with the house. If you tap on it, this is what you entered. If you want to change it, maybe something else, just tap a couple times on the logo. You can click reset the default skin. Yes. And now we're back to the default skin. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is. It is certainly very unique within this remote start telematics space. There's no doubt about that.
All right, I got something else for you. You're a marketing guy, right? You understand the power of marketing.
I would say so. Yes.
All right. Do you get a lot of questions from retailers about how to make their presence more known, like online and social
You know what I
media?
hear a lot. You know what I hear a lot, Phil. A lot of the shops. Let's put aside the multi-location franchise type shop. Now let's talk about the owner-operator type shops, which are many of our viewers, independent owners.
Oh, yeah.
It's challenging enough to keep up with inventory, invoicing, managing staff, hiring new staff, training, watching CMA. But the other big thing is, the challenge that I hear a lot is when it comes to social media and marketing, a lot of companies, brands, small businesses don't know exactly where to start. They feel it's overwhelming. They feel like they would have to hire either an individual that specializes in it or maybe a marketing agency. But then once they start digesting what that could cost, everything comes really, overwhelming on a lot of points. And you said it before, to do an app, I mean, that's programming, that's resources, that's research, that's time, that's hours and hours of paying someone else to maybe get it the way you want it. Having said that, the tools, I'm a big preacher of, using social media. It's free, right? You don't have to pay to have a Facebook account. You don't have to pay to get an Instagram account, but you do need to put in the time to do it right and be consistent to make it work. So that's certainly one avenue. Other than that, it gets a little bit more challenging to go outside of your bubble and outside of those walls that that you're used to, I would say.
So let's say you needed to advertise that you're running a special on floor mats. I don't know, let's just pick something, right? How do you do it? Social media.
Yeah.
You make an ad campaign. You take an ad with the local radio station. You do stuff like that. How about you can spread the word of what you have to your existing customers?
See, that
Customers that
in marketing it's called retargeting. It's retargeting customers that you've already engaged, that you've already provided a service or a product for, and the chances of them returning to you if they were satisfied the first time would be pretty high. So it's kind of like a pre-qualified customer, if you will.
Exactly. And what we are allowing you to do with My Branded app is that every single customer of yours that you stole a Mycar or a Mystart Plus, and you've activated your own personalized app, we are enabling you to send marketing promotion directly on their phone, on their app, with the My Branded app website for free. So you can create a promotion, say special on this. You can put a PDF document.
Seasonal stuff, for sure.
Exactly. You can say the promotion's going to run from December to January. And then next time the customer opens their app, there'll be a pop-up saying promotion. If you want to read it, you tap, and then boom, you can spread your message.
So we're talking about push notifications straight to their app on their mobile device. And so I'm going to get gritty here. Have they opted into that by accepting the terms of using said app in their phone? Is that how this whole thing works?
Yes, and you can also disable it. If you go in your app, you can turn that off if they don't want to be bothered.
So the customer has the option to turn off notifications.
Always.
My recommendation, though, if you have that type of platform that you can speak to your existing clientele, pre-qualified customer, you don't want to abuse it. If you do that once a quarter, I think would be fine. If you want to push it a little bit and go to once a month, I think that might be okay as well. You want to see how the reaction is. But man, what an amazing tool to have to reach out and connect and push notify pre-qualified existing clientele. Like, I'm thinking about how else you can do that. I mean, you could sign up for a newsletter, I suppose, but we all know newsletters aren't the same engagement of being on their app that controls their car.
Do you always read all the emails that you get from promotion in your inbox? So you just go delete, delete, delete. Oh, maybe I read this one. But
yeah, I think we're all, kind of getting more immune to that type of communication. How's that? Can I say that?
Yeah. So how about I show you and we create a promotion like now, live.
Okay, let's go through one quickly. Show me, I'm going to put you on a time here. Show me how fast, so that message, what I said before of owners saying, I don't have time to do something, show them how fast this can be done. And really, you could probably do it over your lunch break.
I'll take a little bit of time because this is improvisation, right? We didn't plan this.
No.
Like, I have nothing pre-prepared. I'm just going to do something all right. So I'm going to go back on my branded app page. First thing I want to do is I want to create a communication. Right here, I got the communication button. I'll click create new communication. I'll give it a title. Let's call it CMA Ben, whatever. You can add here a description, and you can upload a PDF, an image, or whatever you want. Or if you want, you can link this to external content.
Oh, interesting. So it could be a URL. Like, let's say I wanted to put an image on my website. I could link it to that if I wanted. Gotcha.
So let's say I want to go here and I want to go CMA Networks.
Perfect.
This is the part that's going to take some time. Come on, CMA Network. There we go.
It's all right. You're kind of broadcasting at the same time.
So let's go categories. I'm just going to pick something random. I'm going to pick something random that's really, really good. Let's go source unit.
Yep.
Let's pick, I do believe, look at that.
Funny enough.
Yeah. So
funny enough, that happens to be there.
Yeah. So let's pick this guy. Now that I know what it is, I'll take the URL, I'll copy, I'll go back here, and I'm just going to paste it. Right. So I named it CMA Ben. I've put an external link that could have been a PDF, an image, or whatever I wanted to.
Survey. Maybe it's a form. That's another way something could do.
Anything that you can do on a website, you can make it work. So if you're smart, if you run a form on your website and you really take advantage of this, There's no limit to what you can do here. But this is something very, very, very simple. So my communication is done. I hit create. So I have a bunch here that I've created in the past, so I can create it. Now we need to make a schedule to determine from when to when this will be promoted. As a rule of thumb, the MyBranded app will only allow you to make one promotion a month.
Okay.
We don't want you to spam your customers all the time.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Exactly so. So what we're going to do, this is CMA Ben, what we've done. We're going to create a new campaign. So this will be broadcasted on Mycar Control or one of the other 4 platforms that you have. So if, let's say, you wanted to make a communication for your Mystart Plus customer about Mycar being more coverage, you can do that and target only those customers. So I'm going to click here, Mycar Control.
I'm bugging you. I mean, I'm coming with so many ideas as I see this. A refer a friend campaign would be perfect for this.
Sky is the limit. You're starting to understand this here. All right. So start date, we're what, the 29th now? Let's say we start this today, and let's say we finish it October 1st. I don't know why, but let's pick that. Let's click create. Oh, it's too long. Let me, on the 15th, let's click create. And now this marketing campaign, the campaign is created. All we need to do now is activate our communication and we're good to go. So it's active. We have the green dot. And now if I go,
what does the eyeball do right there, Phil?
If I click on the eyeball, it pops it up. It's going to show you what you did.
Nice,
so this is phone format. You can see what you did. And if, let me just overhead right here. Now, if I go and I got Mycar, let me just close Mycar, start again. Next time I connect it, in a couple of seconds, you will see a little pop-up on the top.
Oh.
Did I activate it?
Oh, did you turn off your messages?
I think I did. That's why. This is the joy of doing stuff live, right?
That's okay. It's what we're all about.
Yeah. Yeah, turn it off. So if we give it some time, we will get the pop-up. You'll see a little pop-up here. Or we can try to trick it, go back into my garage, we select the car, and it should be coming here, unless I didn't activate it. See, this is a joy of doing stuff live here.
It's okay. We get it.
All right. This is activated. It's good. It's good. I can. All right. We are activated.
My head is spinning right now. If I was an operator of a business that dealt with car starters,
yes.
Just think about how many. So let's say the average, especially during season, you're doing anywhere from 6 to 10 vehicles a day. Let's just call it that. In a matter of a week, you have 30 customers. In a matter of a month, you have 120 customers. In a matter of 4 months, you have over 500 customers. So it's already so hard when you ask me about marketing. It is already so hard in today's day and age to penetrate through media and reach that specific customer that you're looking for, that A, has a car, B, is in the age to be able to afford something like this, that needs that convenience, so on and so forth. Check. All that is already done for you because obviously these customers are pre-qualified. They've already purchased this service from you, which is why I said, whether it's a new offer on a new install, maybe it's a refer a friend campaign with some incentive, maybe it's something that has nothing to do with the remote starter, but maybe it's an accessory too. Maybe you want to do heated seats. Hey, we noticed that you did a car starter with us. We have a special going on with heated seats for those that have already done it. There's so many things we can go on and on and on and on. But the point of all this, Phil, is that this MyBranded app situation gives you the power of a much higher level of marketing access that most small businesses would not have access to otherwise. How's that? That's how I'm going to say it.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just trying to, and I just got a pop up on my watch about it. Now that I'm trying to create another one, my watch just popped up and said that we can do it. So Mycar control, let me just, why is it this? So we are 29. Let's take it from yesterday. And let's go to the 6th. I'm going to hit create.
The other question I have for you is this back end is created once you sign up as an authorized dealer from AutoMob, right?
Exactly. You first need to talk with your rep. They're going to send you an invite link, and you will be able to create whatever promotion you have. So this is good. I got 2. Good.
Lots of specials going on at Used Car Stereo.
Oh, yeah. So I created a bunch. Obviously, this is a demo app. So let me just show you guys if I go overhead. I don't know if you guys can see.
Oh, yeah. So it's a true note. It shows up as a true notification.
Oh, yeah. So if I click on this, I got my notification, but I just cleared it. It showed that I was trying to send you a notification.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, it totally makes sense. It totally 100% makes sense. All right. So here's a couple takeaways, a couple questions I want to ask you before I let you go, Phil. So when it comes, let's just back up a little. Let's talk about Mystart.
yes.
So like Mystart for me, if you guys are in that range, right? Like, I don't know, like it's a no-brainer for me. It just seems like it's a no-brainer. If you're in that range. Now, there are some downsides, though. Right?
I just got my...
Oh, you finally got your notification? There you go.
I got another notification here.
There you go. There you go. I just want to point out, though, right? Like, I guess my challenge with that one, I mean, the product is sound. There's no question about it. We understand the limitations. I'm just thinking about in a real-world situation when you're talking to the customer, you know, you have to qualify that customer properly for that product. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because if the customer does take their vehicle because they have a cottage up north or whatever it is, these are things that, especially in the winter, they have to consider. So I just wanted to kind of note that yes, it's awesome. It's amazing that it's all access. Amazing there's no monthlies. It's on its own private network. But there, you know, it has to be for the right customer.
Exactly. So this is why I took all that time to explain how the system works. It's a great system. It's been running since 2016. We sold a whole lot of these, and it's extremely popular here out east. Like the norm, people buy a remote starter, no transmitter. They either use the OEM key fob to go lock with 50 feet of range, or they use their smartphone app to start and stop it. So it's perfect for that. No monthly, no yearly fee. Customer gets the app, register, links the device to their account. They're up and running. Everything is good. Super simple.
Really, again, it's not a new product, but again, a word of advice: make sure you understand the product so that you pitch it to the right customer, because the right customer will be incredibly happy with that product.
Oh, yeah.
Now, onto Mycar. See, Mycar has got legs to grow. I mean, right across. I mean, it doesn't matter where you live at this point. And the fact that it is compatible with just about every brand starter. So there's 2 levels to that. A, it's a great add-on at the point of install. But again, if you had a MyBranded app, you could kind of lure them back in. I don't know, like, I just feel it's a great add-on as well, because you can get customers from another, maybe they didn't get the starter installed at your place. Maybe they just moved into town. Doesn't matter. You could add the Mycar to it.
And in 2 years, when they forget where they got the remote starter installed, if they got the app, they click on that My Retailer button. It will bring it all your information, your contact info, your social media, your address, your hours of operation. All of that is available for them. So it's free advertising. Take advantage of it.
The other thing I want to mention, Phil, is, you know, a lot of us have like way too many apps on our phone, right? Like just too many. We all, but you know that out of the 386 apps you have floating around in your phone, there's probably 15 to 20 that you use on a regular, right?
Yep.
This is going to be one of those apps So beyond the fact that you could have an opportunity in a platform that's easy and free to be able to connect with this customer, know that you are now penetrating and piercing through the sea of apps on their phone, because a lot of these apps I've turned off notifications on because it just gets ridiculous. I need my remote start one though. I'm going to probably press it twice a day.
You're going to use it every day, especially during winter, right? So the fact that whenever you pop open the app, you'll get that notification. We didn't really see it because it takes a little time to get to you, but you'll get the pop-up, you click on it, and it will bring you to whatever link you set there. So it's a great way to reach out to your customer.
I feel it's a little bit of an untapped resource. I did get training on this a year ago. I'm just as impressed now and motivated now as ever. If you're a dealer listening in, at the very least, if you've taken anything away from today's presentation, call your AutoMob rep, get them to set you up with MyBranded Up, set it up, try it, and you will see if you can maximize the features that are part of this. It's going to help your business. There's no question in my mind. Last word, Phil. How do you close this one out?
How do I close this one out? Well, what we have to offer as far as telematics with the Mystart and the Mycar universal, that's keyword. So if you are selling more than one brand of remote starter, you don't have to carry more than one brand of telematics or app control. One can work on everything. So it's a no-brainer in my opinion. And you can go from, if you're out east, you can go with the Mystart, which is a little bit more entry level, but if you need more range, you can always upgrade to the Mycar. And with the MyBranded app, where you can brand it, have your own logo. We all saw how fast it was, right?
Apparently we have our own app now. Thank you, Phil.
Yeah, you do. Just enter the phone number that you saw there. Anybody that has a Mycar system in the My Retailer, if they punch in my phone number, the app will change to this one. I won't repeat my phone number. If you want to see it, go back in the video and look it up, because we can't blank it out, but the magic of live TV, and you'll be able to do that. And those promotions, it's very, very powerful. And all of that is free. All you got to do is reach out to your rep, talk to your rep. They'll explain what is required to be part of MyBranded app. Obviously, it's free, but there's some commitment that you need to buy a remote starter from us, right? We want your business. And once you're in there, you can use it.
Very, very, very convincing incentive. There's no doubt about it. All right, let's bring up the information for the folks. So if you're interested in more information on Mycar, for example, head over to visit mycarcontrols.com. That's the website where it kind of hubs you out to everywhere else. And like Phil mentioned, if it's not on his shirt, it's in his logo behind him. Call your rep at Automobility. They will set you up with an account so you can take advantage of all these great features from a telematics standpoint. And like Phil said, it doesn't matter what starter you put in, this will work with it. So, Phil, another great presentation. This is the reason why we need you here. Thank you for keeping us up to date.
Well, we didn't time it good with the app. We didn't see the pop-up, but hey, one thing at the Phil, it's all live, right?
We saw the notification. We get it. Don't you worry about it.
I know, but it's not 100% perfect. But hey,
but that's because you're a perfectionist, and we love you for it.
This is the live version, right? So.
Thanks a lot, Phil. See you on the next one.
All right.
If you like what you saw today, and obviously you do because you're into the remote start and telematics business, stay with us on CMA Networks right through until September 16th as we are deep into the remote starters and telematics sessions. Well, of course, we're featuring all the biggest brands, literally all the biggest brands in the segment. So make sure you tune in either live or on demand. Now, we've got an awesome contest going on. You might have heard CMA Networks has partnered with MasterTech Expo along with 5-Axis Innovations and SiriusXM for a chance to win an all-inclusive trip to the 2023 MasterTech Expo. We're talking about everything included, flights, hotels, the courses, you name it. 2 winners, one from the US, one from Canada, will be drawn on November 23rd right here on CMA during our roundtable event. Just got to head over to our website, cmanetworks.com/giveaway. And last but not least, stay with us on our website at cmanetworks.com, where this video and many more can be found simply by using our search tools. It's where the 12-volt industry connects. Thanks for tuning in to this CMA Connected, presented by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.
topics. I mean, yeah, let's talk about
Stop
today. Today we're gonna go
Yo,
topics.
roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?